Welcome to a new scented video. Today I wanted to jump in and very quickly give you a review of a fragrance that I have been eyeing for a very long time, and also myself looking for reviews online to help me decide what I should do. Should I get it? Should I not get it? And this fragrance is a whiff of a waffle cone from Imaginary Authors. This fragrance is made in 2020. It comes in the signature packaging by Imaginary Authors, which I love. I really love this brand. They are so creative. They have the most imaginative kind of branding, and I really would like to support them with looking at fragrances that could perhaps be my vibe. And this is one that came immediately in my radar because it is a gourmand fragrance and it is meant to represent a waffle cone, and also it was created for an ice cream shop called Salt and Straw. It already got my attention at waffle cone. So looking at the notes, I was so intrigued. The fragrance has notes of caramel, syrup, vanilla, amyris, whipped cream, ice cream, cinnamon, and ice cream shop. So this is the secret ingredient. They always have that kind of like a imaginary ingredient in there, which I really appreciate the creativity. Looking at these notes, I was so sure that I'm gonna love this fragrance. But then looking at some of the reviews, people were kind of polarizing, and some were saying that they love it and some were kind of really surprised of the outcome, how this ended up smelling. So for me, that was kind of like a blind buy, of course, but also kind of like a shot in the dark. Let me spray a little bit on a strip and share with you my thoughts. So this fragrance comes in a 50 ml bottle, and it is a little bit cheaper. It comes with I think $65 or $60 versus $90. There are other fragrances, so I was kind of like questioning why would that be. Anyways, this one was kind of said to remind a little bit of the Memoirs of a Trespasser, which for me was also something I haven't tried, so it wasn't really helping. On initial spray, this fragrance is really surprising. So it is not what I expected. I fall into this category of people who are kind of more like surprised how this smells. I understand some comparison with Baccarat Rouge. There is this sugar note, burnt sugar note on the background. But also I sense the kind of the essence of the waffle, the crispy, hard waffle. The spices, it is spicy, but it doesn't come like a cinnamon in your face, but more like a really the crispy waffle. You can definitely tell the texture. But also what I would say as a kind of textural feel of this is a dry fragrance. So it does have, it's airy, but also it is kind of gritty and dry. I can definitely tell the inspiration. This is 100% waffle cone, but it does not have ice cream in it. And even though the notes were saying cream and ice cream, I do not detect the ice cream itself. It's more like the hard cone, and maybe some little bit ice cream is kind of melted on top of it, but there isn't any like a creaminess of the ice cream. So it's a dry fragrance, dry cone. It's like if you're eating a cone on its own. Another thing that I also watched, Amy from Amy's Worth of Fragrance mentioned, she did also a great review and she ended up loving this one. Another aspect of this fragrance is that it has some sort of like a hot iron vibe to it. And at first I was like, that smell just reminds me of something, you know, and one of the comments on Fragrantica mentioned that this is like a hot hair straightener, and I'm like, this is it. The hot metal iron. But then when Emmy was kind of describing it, I'm like, yeah, yours makes more sense, you know. She said that it reminds of the hot metal iron at the waffle maker. So yeah, that makes much more sense than the hair straightener, but it does have this hot iron kind of vibe underneath it. And then you have, when you pour the mixture, that's kind of the smell that you get. And to me, I was kind of like a bit put off by this aspect of the fragrance. It was a little bit too challenging for my brain to think of it as a fragrance to wear. So I did, as you can see, I kind of used up a lot of the fragrance. I really tried. I tried to like it. I sprayed myself to death, but I did not end up loving it, and I will let go of this fragrance. I will sell it further to someone who will enjoy it more. But for me, that was definitely a very creative fragrance, and that's what I really respect the House of Imaginary Authors for. Really creative, love their names, love their packaging, everything. But this one just wasn't for me, and I wanted to make this video there to just add to the discussion, because there are different opinions and I didn't know which one I will lean towards, and yeah, I am in the ones that it didn't work for. So I hope this video was helpful for someone, and if you enjoyed it or if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!